$2 million. The words hang in the air like a thunderclap, freezing everyone at the breakfast table. I watch my father's newspaper slowly lower, revealing his stunned expression. My mother's coffee cup hovers midway to her lips, suspended in disbelief. And Diane, my twin sister, stares at me with a mixture of shock and something darker, a calculation already forming behind her eyes. Is this some kind of joke? Diane finally breaks the silence, her voice higher than usual. I take another sip of my coffee, savoring this rare moment when all eyes in my family are actually focused on me. For once, I'm not invisible. For once, I'm not the other twin. No joke, I reply, my voice steadier than my racing heart. Remember that algorithm I tried to tell you about last year? The one nobody wanted to hear about at Christmas dinner? Michael and I sold it to a tech company. That's my bank account balance. After taxes. I hadn't planned to reveal my success this way. But after 24 hours of watching my family celebrate Diane's marketing company expansion while barely acknowledging my presence, something inside me, something that had been bending for 45 years, finally snapped. Flashback, the pattern begins. Growing up as Rebecca Wells, Becky to most, though I've always preferred Rebecca, meant growing up in Diane's shadow. We shared a birthday, but little else. She had our mother's blonde hair and our father's blue eyes, while my dark brown hair and hazel eyes made me look like I'd been delivered to the wrong family. Diane was loud, gregarious, the center of attention. I was quiet, analytical, always observing from the periphery. I remember our 16th birthday with particular clarity. My parents presented Diane with a BMW, nothing fancy. My father had said, just a pre-owned model, while I received a laptop. A good one, admittedly, but I later overheard my father telling my mother they'd bought it on sale to put more money toward Diane's car. That laptop became my passport to another world. I brought it to the computer science club at school where Dr. Henderson, the advisor, became the first person to truly see my potential. You have an extraordinary gift for algorithm development, Rebecca, he told me after I restructured a senior's data compression project. You think differently. That's valuable. Those words became my lifeline during those years. A counterweight to the constant stream of Diane was elected class president, and Diane got invited to the Johnson family's vacation home that dominated our family dinners. Flashback, the divergence. I still remember the night my parents broke the news about college. Girls, we need to discuss your education, my father announced over pot roast, his voice carrying the authoritative tone he'd perfected during his years as a corporate executive. We've saved what we could, but realistically, we only have enough for one full college experience. My mother, who had been a high school English teacher before retiring, nodded solemnly. Diane's business program at USC is very prestigious, and with her networking skills, she'll make important connections. It's an investment in her future. I cut them off, surprising even myself with my directness. I've been accepted to Stanford's computer science doctoral program. Full scholarship. I don't need your money. The shock on their faces was almost comical. Almost. Stanford? My mother repeated, as if I'd said I was flying to Mars. When did you even apply? 6 months ago. Dr. Henderson helped me with my application portfolio. Who's Dr. Henderson? My father asked, genuinely confused. My computer science mentor. For the past 4 years. The fact that they didn't know who had been guiding my academic career for years said everything. They exchanged glances, a mixture of surprise and what I hoped might be a flicker of respect. But the moment passed, and dinner conversation quickly returned to Diane's college preparations. Present day, the award. The memory fades as I stand at the podium of the International Data Science Conference, accepting the Distinguished Innovation Award for my compression algorithm, a technology I've been refining for 15 years. The applause is thunderous. Colleagues I respect deeply are giving me a standing ovation. Dr. Wells, your work will revolutionize medical imaging storage, the presenter says, shaking my hand firmly. The implications for remote healthcare alone are groundbreaking. I scan the audience, knowing I won't find what I'm looking for. No family members sitting proudly in the front row. No one to celebrate with me afterward. I'd sent the invitation 6 weeks ago, a formal card with all the details, even though I knew what would happen. My phone buzzes as I leave the stage. A text from my mother. Don't forget, Diane's business expansion celebration is tomorrow. Dad and I expect you by 6. Bring wine if you can. Not a word about my award. Not even a question about how it went. I text back a simple, "We'll be there," and put my phone away. In my hotel room that night, I called the only person who would understand. Michael? It's me. I won. Of course you did. His voice booms through the speaker. Was there ever any doubt? Your algorithm is brilliant, Becky. Absolutely brilliant. Michael Davis has been my research partner since our Stanford days, the only person who saw my potential from the beginning. Unlike me, he came from a family of scientists who celebrated his every achievement, who understood the significance of our work. How did your family react to the news? He asks, then immediately sighs. Sorry. Stupid question. They don't know. They didn't come. They didn't ask. I try to keep my voice neutral, but after 15 years, Michael knows me too well. Their loss, he says firmly. Listen, the acquisition offer from Innovation Tech came through today. 2 million, Becky. Each. After taxes. They want the algorithm and they want us on their research team. I sit down on the hotel bed, suddenly dizzy. $2 million? $2 million, he confirms. We did it. 15 years of work, and we finally did it. I think about what this means: financial freedom, validation, proof that the quiet, overlooked twin had value all along. And suddenly, I know exactly what I need to do. At the family home, the celebration. My parents' suburban home looks exactly as it has for the past 30 years. Perfectly maintained exterior, meticulously landscaped yard, a showcase of upper middle class success. Thomas and Martha Wells had built their life around appearances, around the tangible markers of achievement that everyone could see and admire. I ring the doorbell instead of using my key, already feeling like a visitor rather than a daughter. Rebecca. My mother greets me, glancing at her watch. You're late. People are already arriving. Could you help set out the napkins? No hug. No, how was your trip, or congratulations on your award. Just a task to complete for Diane's celebration. Hello, Mother, I say, stepping inside with my overnight bag. The living room is decorated with streamers and a banner reading, "Congratulations on your success." Diane stands in the center of a small crowd, gesturing animatedly as she describes her company's expansion plans. We're moving to a prime location downtown, she's saying. Triple the square footage, perfect for impressing clients. My father spots me and nods in acknowledgement before returning his attention to Diane's story. I quietly set my bag by the stairs and moved to the dining room to arrange napkins as instructed. Rebecca. A warm voice cuts through my isolation. Aunt Eleanor, my mother's sister and a retired university professor, approaches with open arms. I saw the announcement about your award. Distinguished innovation, that's incredible. I accept her hug, grateful for this one person who sees me. Thank you, Aunt Eleanor. It was quite an honor. I should say so. She glances around at the decorations. Wait, are we only celebrating Diane today? What about your achievement? The nearby conversations quiet slightly as people tune into our exchange. My mother materializes beside us, her smile fixed but her eyes warning. Of course we're celebrating both our daughters, she says quickly. Rebecca just arrived, so we haven't had a chance to put up her decorations yet. I understand, I say, keeping my voice light. Diane's news came first. My father clears his throat loudly. Let's all sit down for dinner, shall we? The caterers have outdone themselves. I find myself seated between Aunt Eleanor and one of Diane's friends who clearly has no idea who I am. Throughout the meal, conversation revolves exclusively around Diane's business expansion, her vision, her networking prowess. The toast. The breaking point. Before we bring out dessert, my father announces, standing and raising his glass. I'd like to propose a toast to our amazing daughter. The singular form of the word doesn't escape my notice. Nor does it escape Aunt Eleanor's, based on her slight frown. To Diane, he continues, who has built her marketing firm from the ground up through hard work and determination. Your mother and I couldn't be prouder of your entrepreneurial spirit. My mother stands as well, beaming. And we have a special announcement. Your father and I are investing $100,000 to help with your expansion costs. We believe in you and your vision. Applause erupts around the table. Diane's eyes fill with tears. Oh my God, thank you. This means everything. I promise I'll make it the most successful marketing agency in Boston. As the excitement settles, my father adds almost as an afterthought. And to Rebecca, congratulations on your computer award. We've got something for you too. He reaches beneath the table and produces a wrapped package. I open it to find a book titled How to Become a Millionaire, a step-by-step guide. We thought this might help you on your career path, my mother explains with an encouraging smile. It got excellent reviews online. Diane snorts slightly before masking it with a cough. I'm sure Rebecca will be financially comfortable someday too, she says, patting my arm condescendingly. And once my business really takes off, maybe I can throw some consulting work your way. The room feels suddenly hot, airless. 15 years of dedicated research reduced to an afterthought. A lifetime of being overlooked distilled into this perfect, crystalline moment of dismissal. I place the book on the table and stand up. I have an announcement too, I say, my voice quiet but clear. The room falls silent, perhaps surprised by my uncharacteristic interruption. Yesterday, I received the Distinguished Innovation Award at the International Data Science Conference for an algorithm I've been developing for 15 years. My father shifts uncomfortably. Yes, that's wonderful, Rebecca. As we said, congratulations on your computing achievement. The algorithm was acquired yesterday by Innovation Tech for $2 million. I continue, watching their expressions change. My half, after taxes. The funds were transferred this morning. The silence is absolute. My mother's face pales. My father's mouth opens and closes without producing sound. Diane's expression morphs from disbelief to calculation in seconds. $2 million? My father finally manages. Yes, I say simply. So while I appreciate the book, I don't think I'll need it. The aftermath, the shift. The rest of the evening disintegrates into chaos. My parents' incredulity gives way to excited questions about my sudden windfall. Diane oscillates between faint enthusiasm and thinly veiled envy. Guests who had barely acknowledged my presence now cluster around me, asking about my work. I excuse myself early, retreating to my childhood bedroom, which remains frozen in time, posters of computer pioneers on the walls, bookshelves lined with programming manuals and science fiction novels, the desk where I spent countless hours coding while Diane attended parties downstairs. A soft knock on my door reveals Aunt Eleanor. May I come in? I nod, grateful for her presence. That was quite a bombshell you dropped, she says, sitting beside me on the bed. Though long overdue, if you ask me. I didn't plan it that way, I admit. But after all these years of being invisible, I just couldn't take it anymore. She pats my hand. You shouldn't have to take it. You've accomplished something extraordinary. Tell me more about this algorithm of yours. For the first time that evening, I talk freely about my work, explaining the technical breakthrough that allows medical imaging files to be compressed without losing crucial diagnostic details. Aunt Eleanor listens intently, asking insightful questions despite her background in literature rather than computer science. Your parents never understood you, she says finally. Thomas comes from old money where appearances and social connections meant everything. Martha was always desperate to fit into that world. Diane gave them exactly what they valued: social prowess, visible success, status symbols. And I gave them complexity and nuance they didn't know how to showcase at dinner parties. I finish for her. Precisely. She squeezes my hand. But that doesn't diminish your worth. Not one bit. After she leaves, I open my laptop and check my bank account, still not quite believing the number displayed. $2 million. More money than my parents had given Diane for her business. More than they had likely saved their entire lives. My phone buzzes with a text from a real estate agent. Found the perfect property matching your requirements. Available for showing tomorrow at 10 a.m. I smile, picturing the spacious Cambridge condo I described to her, my own place, purchased outright. No mortgage, no roommates. Just mine. Morning after the confrontation at breakfast the next morning, the atmosphere has shifted dramatically. My mother offers me coffee before I even ask. My father puts down his newspaper when I enter, something I've rarely seen him do for anyone, even Diane. Good morning, Rebecca, he says with newfound warmth. Did you sleep well? Fine, thank you, I reply, accepting the coffee. I wanted to let you know I'll be leaving this morning. I have an appointment in Cambridge. So soon? My mother's disappointment seems genuine. You just got here. I have things to take care of, I explain. I'm buying a condo. Buying? My father raises his eyebrows. Well, that's ambitious. You know, first properties are usually rentals. You'll need roommates, of course. Especially in Cambridge, Diane adds, entering the conversation. You'll be living with half a dozen programmers in some tiny place. That's just how it is starting out. I sip my coffee calmly. Actually, I'll be living alone. It's a 3-bedroom with an office space and excellent internet connectivity. My mother frowns. Rebecca, be practical. Entry-level positions don't pay enough for that kind of property. My position at Innovation Tech is hardly entry-level, I counter. I'm heading their new medical imaging division. The salary is substantial. Even so, my father interjects, it's always wise to live below your means when starting out. Save for emergencies. That's basic financial planning. I set down my cup deliberately. Speaking of financial planning, I've been thinking about what you said last night. About family supporting family. My parents exchange a hopeful glance. My mother reaches for my hand across the table. Yes, exactly. Families should always support each other. You know, your sister's business expansion is a wonderful opportunity, but it's also a significant investment. The loan we took out has a rather high interest rate, my father adds casually. With your windfall, perhaps you might consider helping with that. Family resources should be shared, after all. And there it is, the real reason for their sudden interest. Not pride in my accomplishments. Not regret for years of oversight. Just access to my money. I stand up, gathering my things. I need to go. My car will be here any minute. Rebecca, wait. My mother rises quickly. We haven't really had a chance to celebrate your success. We could have a special dinner tonight, just for you. I appreciate the offer, but I need to go, I say, heading for the door where my overnight bag waits. Diane follows me. You can't just drop a bomb like this and leave, she hisses, lowering her voice. Mom and Dad took out a second mortgage for my business expansion. They're counting on me to succeed. I pause, genuinely surprised. They took out a second mortgage? At their age. We're family, she presses. If you have all this money, don't you think you should help? The car horn sounds outside, perfect timing. Goodbye, Diane, I say, opening the door. I'll be in touch when I'm ready. As the car pulls away, I see them in the doorway, my parents and Diane, their expressions a mixture of shock, confusion, and calculation. My phone immediately begins buzzing with calls, but I silence it, watching the familiar neighborhood recede into the distance. New beginnings. The freedom. The Cambridge condo is everything I hoped for, spacious, flooded with natural light, with large windows overlooking the Charles River. It's perfect, I tell the real estate agent. I'll take it. That afternoon, I sign the papers, feeling a surreal sense of achievement as I transfer the funds for the full purchase price. No mortgage. No debt. Just mine. Congratulations, Dr. Wells, the agent says, handing me the keys. It's all yours. That evening, sitting on the floor of my empty new home with takeout Chinese food, I finally check my phone. 27 missed calls and dozens of messages, all variations on the same theme. We need to talk. Please call us back. We're so proud of you. Family should help family. I turn off my phone and watch the sunset color the river. Tomorrow would be the first day of my new life. For once, I was the one in control of my story. 4 months later, the reconciliation. My first months at Innovation Tech exceed all expectations. The company culture is everything I'd hoped for. Intellectually rigorous, collaborative, and most importantly, respectful. My team welcomes me warmly, and my director makes it clear how valuable my contribution is. Your compression algorithm is revolutionary, she tells me during our first one-on-one meeting. That's why we hired you. We're expecting great things, Dr. Wells. For the first time in my life, I feel truly seen for my abilities, not compared to someone else or dismissed as the less interesting twin. I make friends quickly, hosting Friday evening gatherings at my new condo where we discuss everything from coding challenges to philosophy over pizza and wine. 4 months into my new life, Aunt Eleanor calls. Your parents are telling everyone you're rich but refusing to help family, she says without preamble. I thought you should know. I sigh, unsurprised. I figured they might do something like that. Diane's business isn't doing well, she continues. Turns out her business model had some fundamental flaws. The loan payments are becoming an issue. That's unfortunate, I say neutrally. Don't worry, I've been setting the record straight with the extended family, Aunt Eleanor assures me. Most of them remember how they've always treated you. Nobody blames you for keeping your distance. Thank you, Aunt Eleanor. So, her voice brightens. Tell me about your new job. Is it everything you hoped for? We talk for an hour about my work, my condo, my new friends. Not once does she mention my money or ask for anything. When we hang up, I feel lighter. 9 months after my revelation at breakfast, my mother calls again. This time I answer without hesitation, curious to see if anything has changed. Rebecca, she says, her voice subdued. How are you? I'm good, Mother. How are things there? Diane's business folded last week. She sighs heavily. She's looking for a regular job now. I'm sorry to hear that. Your father and I are managing the loan payments, but it's tight. She pauses. I'm not calling to ask for money. I just wanted to say I've been thinking about things, about how we've treated you compared to Diane. I say nothing, waiting. I don't think I realized how much we favored her until you showed us that bank statement, she continues. It was a shock to see that you'd accomplished so much without us even noticing. It shouldn't have taken $2 million for you to notice me, Mother. I know, she says quietly. I'm sorry. The apology catches me off guard. It isn't enough to erase decades of being overlooked, but it's something. Thank you for saying that, I reply. Could we maybe visit sometime? See your new place? No pressure about the loan or anything, just to see you. I consider it. Maybe in a few more months. I'm still getting settled. We'll wait until you're ready, she says. And Rebecca, I really am proud of what you've accomplished. After we hang up, I step onto my balcony, watching the sunset over Cambridge. I'm not ready to fully reconcile with my family yet, but for the first time, I can see the possibility of a healthier relationship in the future, one based on genuine respect rather than financial need. My phone pings with a text from my colleague Zoe. Team dinner at 7, you in? I smile and text back, definitely. As I get ready to meet my friends, I feel grateful for the path that has led me here. The ignored twin has become the respected computer scientist with a beautiful home and meaningful relationships. I no longer need validation from parents who had always looked past me. For the first time in my life, I am exactly where I belong.